smoking, it's a revolution. Revolution, revolution. Shots to your head, it's an execution. Execution, execution. It's being us versus the corrupt. Red dot, put a cross to your head. Let the Lord interrupt. Interrupt, interrupt. Gun smoking, it's a revolution. Revolution, revolution. Shots to your head, it's an execution. Execution, execution.
Hey,
What up? The Liberty Goons are back, baby.
Jesus. Well, you're back. I'm still not fully
Yeah,
back.
you're not back. As you can tell, folks, Don is not in his normal getup over there.
Yeah.
Man, what's been going on, Don? Why are you sitting in a room like that?
Well,
Like under a police spotlight.
I didn't shoot the UHC CEO, so. But man, no, it's been crazy, dude. We've been 3 weeks of hell of moving. Finally into our new house. We're still waiting on a few things, couches, still waiting on a new desk. So there's going to be some big updates on my side here for the Liberty Goons, which I'm really excited about. Trying to make things look a lot cleaner for you. Have a little bit better quality. Even though this is a great fucking camera, it's really not meant for this. It's meant for outside productions, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just working on all that, man. It's been crazy. When I first moved in here, our house flooded the first day.
Fuck, man.
So the carpet was completely fucked. Wood was fucked. So basically had to throw every single thing into the living room living room / kitchen or whatever you want to call it, in our house. And then they came and then removed everything, removed all the carpet, did all the carpet, then had to move every single thing back, go back to the garage, get the rest of the shit that was in the garage, and then bring it back. So basically moved like 5 fucking times for the price of one time, which was extremely annoying. And obviously, I have a pregnant, girl. So it's been overwhelming to say the least. But
Hey, at least you have a good hat on.
Hey, you like that?
Hey, little 2A Patriot Ranch action right there.
This is actually probably my favorite hat that I own. So, you know what I'm saying?
Look, I got our new Liberty Goons shirt on.
I know.
Multi-cam action.
I need to get one of those, but you know what we need those in right now? I need a fucking hoodie.
Yeah, you know what? I agree, and I kind of am kicking myself in the ass because when I got this one, I bought myself a 2A Patriot Ranch hoodie, and I've been wearing that like no fucking nobody's business the last couple days. But I should have done Liberty Goons one too. So fucked up there.
Yeah, if we do a Liberty Goons one, man, I got to get that. I need that T-shirt, anyways.
Yeah, this thing's I like it. It's fucking comfortable.
Make sure you guys go on to what is it, Patriot?
Yeah, 2apatriotranch.com. Click on the Liberty Goons category under apparel, and
you'll get to see all the stuff from 2A Patriot Ranch to Liberty Goons, all that stuff, man.
Yeah, we got hats, shirts, mugs. Oh, I got a mug. I'm not even using my mug. I have a Liberty Goons mug now. I'm not even using it. I'm using my fucking Yeti. Should have done Yetis. Damn it. See, we just keep adding shit. Man, it's been a while. We last recorded right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, dude, I know. Christmas, everything's like,
yeah,
it's been nuts, man.
It's been crazy.
The world is a insane fire shit show right now too.
We might have stopped, but the world did not fucking stop around us.
I was like, Trump won. Okay, everything's gonna calm down. So wrong from that.
So wrong. Well, before we jump into anything, I'm John. You know me from 2A Patriot Rants and the Pew Pew Pews. That guy over there, that's Mr. Don Welch. You know him from the Sick Beats and the not so great background right now. But we are the Liberty Goons. And what should they do right now, Don? What should they do? Tell them.
Right now is the perfect time to go drop that like, hit subscribe, leave a comment, and make sure you ring that bell for notifications just so you can watch videos just like this every single week. And I promise it will be every single week from here on out.
They're like, you fucking liar. Oh, we needed some time off, especially even after election night, because that pretty much took the steam out of you and I on that one.
Oh, we 8 hours of freaking live coverage.
8 hours of coverage. And then, oh, we got shadow banned a lot. I actually just came out of shadow ban jail on Instagram and Facebook today. I was completely cut off. I tried to join the live last night for the Whiskey and Windage boys under 2A Patriot, and it wouldn't even let me join a live. So yeah, I'm out of jail as of today. Back in action.
Is Liberty Goons out of jail?
Yeah, we're good right now. Well, we have a couple false postings or whatever they call it, but we're clear.
Mine's filled with hundreds of them, and they are not going away. And I have submitted so much shit. I'm losing followers left and right. I haven't dropped anything at all. No, I think today was like the first time I even posted like a story.
It's been a minute. I you know what's surprising though on YouTube here? I have posted, God, I'm probably jinxing myself, but knock on fake wood over here. My last 7 videos have not been demonetized, which is a shocker. And like 5 of them have been gun videos.
Well, I'm hoping that Doge comes in and works those kinks out for us. And it's like, hey, you know what? Like, guess what, Google? Like, you keep fucking around with us, we're just gonna take you off the face of the planet. Literally, with a fucking Tesla fucking jet.
Right.
Well, speaking of Tesla, there's some crazy shit that's been going on today, but we'll get into that here in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll get into that one. But yeah, man, I got to spend some time up at the parental unit's house over Christmas. Oh yeah, you were saying hi to them when you called me there. My sister didn't make it because her and her boyfriend were puking and doing other stuff for like 3 straight days, so they missed Christmas. Dang. I did not. It was my first Christmas home in I don't even know, 20 years. And
did you tell him? I was like, yo, dude, 20 years I've missed, and then the one time I'm here, you're not here.
Yeah, so I gave her shit because I was like, suck it up, just come, blah blah blah. And then karma bit me literally in the asshole on the day after Christmas. I got the stomach flu and was shitting my brains out for 3 days. So my sister let me have it for that one.
Scientific term.
Yeah. I was pissing out my ass. But we have this tradition that on Christmas Day, we go over to my grandma's house and everybody's exchanging gifts and stuff. And then we go for a walk around her neighborhood. They've lived there for, I don't know, 60, 70 years or whatever. So we're walking around the neighborhood and it's basically the whole family, anybody that's able to walk. Grandma can't walk anymore, so she can't go, but everybody else, we go for a walk. Well, my stepdad, me, my brother, our cousin, we're all armed and we're outside the waistband carrying. So we're walking around the neighborhood. There's little kids, there's armed people. We must have looked like a fucking mess walking around. I was like, man, people are going to start calling the cops right now. The gangs are infiltrating the streets here.
You look like that Christmas card with Thomas Massey's family.
Yeah. It was a white Christmas, though.
It snowed?
Yeah, it snowed, and there was snow on the ground. Actually, I went up to the ranch on my way out to my parents' house. The ranch is about a little further than halfway in between us. And so I stopped because I wanted to film some content. I'm like, I've got a couple hours. I might as well, film some content while I'm here. The ranch had 6 inches of snow up there.
Actually, I saw footage of you with
with
the Canics, and I was I was like, dude, that does not look fun at
Dude,
all.
it was 19 fucking degrees outside. 19. Now, what I will say, my truck made it. Like I drove straight through that access road there, straight up through, and no problems at all. It was kind of a bitch walking down there to the shooting lane in the snow. You know how hard, like Don and I were winded carrying gear in and out of there.
I mean, not saying that we're in the greatest running shapes of our lives, but I don't care who you are, that is a hill to walk up and down.
with
Some-
with loads of guns.
yes, dude, it's crazy. And I couldn't imagine doing it in the snow. I mean,
Yeah.
as somebody, in case you guys don't know this, I'm like originally from Kentucky, so lived in Kentucky for a really long time, all growing up. But in Pennsylvania and Kentucky, it's like I feel like I'm back at home. I'm gonna like run into friends when I was up in
Yeah.
when I was up in Pennsylvania, especially where his ranch is. But it just reminded me of like taking a sled and having to like crawl all the way back up the damn
Yep.
hill.
Yep. That's exactly what it's like, man. So luckily I wasn't carrying a whole ton of gear or anything. Because
Actually, that's the way
but
do next time. I just now thought of get a sled
oh, it's a good idea.
and then you can drag it down and drag it back up. It'd be a lot easier.
That's a good idea. Or I could get a four-wheeler
Or that.
and just not walk it at all.
That
But
would
yeah,
be
so
way better.
I started shooting out there. It's 19 degrees. And, obviously it was my first time shooting the gun. So I didn't want to shoot with gloves on because I wanted to like give a good impression. But I started like shooting with gloves and I realized like how good that gun was. I'm like, all right, I got to take my gloves off and like really feel like how this thing runs. And I did. Dude, my hands were so fucking cold when I got done shooting. I thought I was going to get frostbite. It was so fucking cold.
Well, in case you guys don't know this, what he was shooting was obviously it's the Canic, and then he was also shooting the exact same one that's still framed. So the still frame one's gotta be cold on your hands.
It was so cold. I picked it up like I had set it down and I was like drinking some coffee and I was setting up the camera and everything. And I went over and just stuck my bare hand right on that steel gun. And I'm, oh my God, this thing is fucking cold. But I tell you what, just my video hasn't dropped yet, but pro tip, if you can, go out and pick yourself up a Canic Rival S. Comes in two colors, black and stainless.
Yeah, I had the Canic Rival, and I really really liked that gun, but I did not have the still version, and I know that still version's got to be phenomenal just because of the extra weight on it. It's like what is it like
43 ounces, I think.
Yeah, like dude,
Yeah,
that's a like money in the bank. For all you
Yep.
people who want to buy like an expensive 2011 but like can't afford it, like I highly suggest just doing that. And then if you want to keep the magwell on there, just shoot limited optics. If not, just shoot carry optics. But that gun, like even in the plastic version, yes, it's a little bit snappy, but
a little bit. Yep.
but it's accurate and the trigger is so damn
So good.
It's crazy how good that trigger is.
You put weight on it with that S, and man, it was shooting flat. I posted those videos. I mean, I was getting like no rise. It almost looked like I was shooting a 2011. Like
Yeah.
that's how little rise there was in it. So yeah, either that or a CZ Shadow 2. If you don't want to go out and buy a Staccato or an Apache or whatever
Whatever it is that you're
yeah.
buy 2011 wise. I'm going to be honest with you too. I think that the CZ makes a phenomenal gun. And shout out to our boys at SAR, because if you want to find something that is very comparable to a CZ, I think it's called the
K2 Sport.
The K2 Sport, yeah, but they have a new one. I think it's called the K2 Sport Pro, which is optics cut.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's a great gun. It looks like a 2011 almost, and it looks like a CZ75 too. I mean, it's like
it's like the perfect blend. I mean, you might
Sub
not,
$700 too.
yeah, and you might not, yes, you might not have like a 2 pound trigger, but you got a solid 4 pound trigger on that
Mm-hmm.
sucker. And I hate to break it to you guys, the people that love staccato so much, if you get a staccato P, it's yes, it's a perfect, crispy, clean brake, but it's a 4 pound brake. So
Yep.
as
Yeah.
you
I mean, the brake on the Canic Rival S is actually lighter. It was 2.48.
yeah. Well, and that's the thing. That's why I keep saying, dude, the Canic Rival. I remember because I was filling my staccato P this before I did anything to the trigger on it, and it was like 3.8 pounds. Then I was hitting off the staccato or the Canic, and it was like right under 3 every single time. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
no wonder this gun feels so perfect to shoot. You know?
Yep. It's fantastic. Have you, while we're talking about guns, I just saw one today and I had not seen any of them before. It's the Alpha Foxtrot Romulus. It's a double
Yes.
stack 1911, and they
Takes
have a
Showmax.
compensated version of it too.
I haven't seen the compensated version
It's
of
an
it.
it's an island compensator too. It's not an integrated.
Really?
Yeah, and Battlehawk Armory has them for how can I say this without getting us in fucking trouble? For 1,500 roses.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah,
Is it using the shield mags or is it using
I think it's using Checkmate mags.
so it's using actual staccato
Yeah.
mags. Wow. Hey, I would go look into that, guys, because that sounds like a phenomenal idea. Or I mean, I might look into that myself because I've shot them before, but it was the compact using the shield mags.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Well, yeah, the compact does use the shield mags because of its grip size.
Yeah,
But this is a
it's
full 5-inch um with a 4.5-inch slide because the island comp sits on the end for the last half inch or whatever.
I would highly suggest you guys to go look. And if you guys are watching this, yo, Alpha, hit your boys up for this.
Right?
We will
Free advertising.
we will gladly do a review on your gun. So
Yeah, actually, and I'll leave a link down below.
John more than me, but
Yeah. I'll leave a link down below, guys. That'll link directly to it's a 2A page where I have like lots of deals and stuff on there. And I'll put the Alpha Foxtrot in there so you don't have to go searching for it because they can be kind of hard to find. So all you have to do is click on that link. It'll take you to my page. It'll have a link that goes to where you can buy it. I can't actually put the link in our YouTube description or we'll get fucking so I have to send you to my website that then you can go and get it. So all of us gun tubers have to figure ways around all this shit. But yeah, I saw that earlier, dude, and I was like, oh man, I wonder if Don's heard about this.
I haven't heard of that one or even seen that one, so I'm very interested. And I like the fact that it's a 4.5 with the comp on it because I'm going to be honest with you guys, and I know Staccato is going to hate me for this. Don't go buy a Staccato. And this is somebody who owns 5 Staccatos. They're just not what they used to be. The new Staccatos aren't. If they're made in 2024, the CEO left. They changed barrel productions. And I'm only saying this because I would grab the gun that I bought, the last one that I bought, and I will not buy from them again. The lockup on it is not set proper. The trigger wasn't set proper. The fitment's not there. They're not making their own barrels anymore. And I know that's probably going to ruin us with Staccato forever. But look, I have all the Staccatos. Like they used to be phenomenal guns, but I'm pretty disappointed in them. So I'm super glad that other companies are coming out. I even heard that the Kimber.
I've heard great things about the Kimber.
I've heard phenomenal things about the Kimber, and let me tell you, that's not a bad deal what they're asking for that gun.
Yeah, what is it? 20, 24, 25, I think, 23.
Yeah, roses,
something like that. Yeah.
which is what a P is.
Yep.
You know, so not bad at all. If you guys want to really get into something Gucci that's not that much more than that, um, I would say buy a Masterpiece Arms.
I've
Um,
seen some good deals on some masterpieces lately.
yeah,
I don't send them to you because I didn't want you to spend your money on them, but
yeah, but
you know,
the
you know who I've heard bad things about lately?
who?
Watchtower.
Okay, so I have to, and it breaks my heart to see that because okay, when they were first coming out, they were really like people were buying them and then reselling them for a shit ton of money because
Mm-hmm.
they only made so many of the Pew Pew versions.
The PewView ones.
Yeah, the Pew View ones, and dude, I mean, like I was seeing them go for like 5, 6 fucking
Mm-hmm.
grand.
Right,
Like,
and they're only $3,500. I think is what the
yeah,
regular price is on them.
which honestly isn't like that's a solid
It's not
deal
that crazy, yeah.
for
But
a compensated 2011 that's full size with the it has the right stuff on it.
yeah,
Now, whether some of those kinks need to be worked out or not,
I'm
that's
hearing
another
about
story.
lots of kinks, lots of kinks.
Well, what I've heard is so in case you guys don't know, like a 2011, 1911s, basically you have it's like a barrel, it's like a barrel lug. So imagine your barrel's here, and then you have a lug here, and then you have an insert on the side that goes in, and that captures it, it it basically captures the barrel, the slide, and kind of like holds everything together. I would get into more finite details on everything about it and give you exact names, but it's I'm just trying to give it to you in the most basic sense, seeing that we're just talking about people that maybe don't know shit about 2011s. Um, Essentially, I've heard that those barrel lugs are breaking. Um,
Yeah, that's what I heard,
yeah, that and
which
what
causes a catastrophic malfunction.
extreme malfunction. Now, if you're a gunsmith, you know you can easily take that out and put a brand new one in for $15.
If you're
But
not,
if you're not, then you're going to put it in and it's going to chew up your slide stop, and then you're probably going to have even worse of a malfunction.
speaking of slide stop, to take it back a step, that was one of the cool things I saw on that Alpha Foxtrot was that the slide stop has like this bar that goes back, and you can actually, even with like normal sized hands, not fucking gargantuan hands, hit the slide stop release.
Oh, so it's an extended, so
Yeah, it kind of goes like this and
it's
up and over.
it's like recessed and goes back further.
Yeah.
That's I have to check that out. I mean, hey, Alpha Foxtrot, send us the 2011. We would or
We'll tag you.
double stack 1911s because as I'm a competitive shooter, so like that's like my forte. Obviously, John's like your tactical guy. So if I have it,
I don't even know about cool, but like tacto dumb. I just fucking fly.
but like if I have any questions ever about shit, like I'll annoy the fuck out of John. I'll be like, "Oh,
Yo, what should I get?
tell me about this plate carrier and all this other stuff."
Oh man,
So
I tell you what, I've been chilling on the gun purchases though. I'm doing a 1-for-1 swap. So I traded in that XR 920 when I got the Rival S.
what did you think of the XR 920?
It's okay. It's a fucking Glock. You know, it's a better Glock. Like if you're gonna buy a Glock, if you're gonna buy a mid-sized Glock, so a Glock 19 or whatever, don't buy a Glock, buy an XR 920.
Well, I always tell
But
people do like instead of dumping an extra $1,000 into your Glock, just spend an extra $200 and buy a Shadow Systems.
not even, not even. So like right now, a Glock 19 goes for like brand new 570, roses, and you can like that XR920 I got from Borelli. I got it with an X300 for $669, I think.
Roses.
So I mean, when you talk about the difference between 570 donkeys and 669 donkeys, I mean, for an extra $100.
I mean, I would do that. I mean, I honestly thought about doing that for a while, just because I was like, I don't really like, if I have to get into a combative situation, like, don't really want to give up my staccatos.
But we've talked about this before on here. Something that you can slam a 15 or 17 round Glock 19 magazine into.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something to be said for it.
No, that's true. Very, very
I mean,
true.
it's definitely going to be in, like, my Glock 19 will definitely be in my bag if I have to make a getaway, just because of that. Not because I hate fucking shooting it. Except for I have that C&H Precision duty optic on it now, and I really fucking like that thing. So
yeah, dude, I was seeing some good deals on the Holosun optics, that new Ames, the
Max,
the big Max, bro.
That one we saw at Goals.
Bro,
that thing is ginormous. It's as big as my fucking head.
I wanna put hear me out. Like, okay, I've been trying to get John into piston-driven guns. Obviously, John likes piston-driven guns. That's not the situation here.
I have a spear.
Yeah, he's got a spear, and it's a phenomenal. Okay.
Yeah.
As somebody who is not a SIG fanboy, that gun is sick. The only thing I would do is change the stock out to an AK stock. And I would get the Midwest AK stock, which I have on all my AKs. Outside of that, and John doesn't even like those stocks. So me and John we're going to disagree on that 100% completely.
I don't like the stock that's on the spear, though. That I agree with you.
It's too thin. It's way too
kills your shoulder for the way that thing fucking pops.
It's a violent, but because of the way that it's built, it shoots very flat.
Flat.
And it is a very accurate 7.62 by 39 gun.
I mean, we were hitting 8-inch steel from 100 yards through trees, like, without
any problems.
No problems
at all. No problems at all. Like, it was just ding, 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 ding all day long on it. That gun is phenomenal.
We blew apart a rock with it. We had a big old boulder.
Anybody that says 7.62 by 39 is not a good round,
Go ask that rock.
I assure you that it is.
I assure you.
Dude, it's got a thump to it, man. That round has a thump. I mean, so I'm a person that has all different types of rounds. I mean, I got 308s, like, I shoot match grade ammo, all that shit too. But the 7.62 by 39, man, there's something about it with the piston driven system too, where yes, you feel the mechanical recoil coming back,
but it stays flat.
And with an AK, this is the reason why I love AK so much and shout out to Matt from Whiskey and Windage. He's a big AK guy too, but like me and Matt's, like, our only conversations that we ever have are only about AKs. We don't ever have any other real conversations about shit. Like, he doesn't talk to me about his podcast. I don't talk to him, he doesn't talk to me about our podcast either. Like, we just bullshit about fucking AKs. But he's a person that really got me hooked onto it. And ever since then, like, I've been, even before that, like, I was really into piston driven system. The first time I met John, I took him my FM and we shot that, and they just work, man. They run, they cycle so good. And if you have if you have an adjustable block on it for gas or piston, adjustable gas piston for all you know
Nerds.
AR, AK guys, whatever you want to call it. And I'll just say it interchangeably, so everybody's like, no, that's not what it is.
Yeah.
But dude, they run phenomenal with suppressors too. Like, I mean,
Yeah, I
and
know.
the gun runs clean, man. It runs super clean. So
I want to put one of the new Otter Creek Labs. I think it's called like the Infinite or Infinium.
yeah, see,
I think it's
I
called.
was thinking about that or the Huxworth K.
Yeah, the K cam from them is pretty good. I just don't know on a round like that, a 7.62 by 39. Like, I mean, it would sound great on that K can will sound great on a subsonic 300 black. But like even that K can I have on the Polonium K that I have on that Roscoe, that sounds fantastic.
Oh no, that suppressor is phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean that thing sounds legit. Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? I think I know where you were going before we got onto this whole thing about the 7.62 by 39. When I was buying the Rival S and trading in the XR920, there was a guy there, and you could tell he's a big gun guy, and he was trading in like 4 guns or something like that. He was like, I wasn't going to buy today, but I'm going to go take a look at a couple $1,000 guns. He was one of those guys, and he had a revolver competition gun with a full rail on top of it, and he had a fucking EOTech on it.
Oh my god.
It was fucking badass. He had it kind of like sitting there, and I normally like wouldn't just like start talking to people, but I looked over, I was like, "Is that your gun?" And he was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "This is the first time I've ever fucking seen that before."
Bro, I'm just gonna tell you right now, if you've never shot a will gun, people, go shoot a revolver. It's phenomenal, and it will make you realize that, dude, the Cowboys were awesome back in the day. Like,
My
it's
stepdad has an Anaconda, dude.
those guns are sick. Hey, look, for all you people that love to shoot with your proper grip two-handed out, a revolver, you do not shoot it that way. If you want to keep this part of your fucking hand, you do not shoot it that way. Or your support hand, do not shoot it that way.
It was funny. So I think you and I were talking about it one time, but me and my brother over Christmas, we were making fun of my stepdad because he went through I don't want to give away what he did and everything, but he went through his specialized training in the government back in like the 80s, right? And so it was when they were teaching the Weaver stance. So like we we make fun of him because he was taught how to shoot like that instead of like the fighting stance that we all do now. And I guess he was telling us that before like weapon mounted lights were a thing, that they trained in the government to hold the flashlight up like this, because like away from your head, because if the bad person saw it, they would shoot at the light. My brother was like making fun of him, saying like, "What were you trying to do? Like shoot between your legs with the light up here?" Oh, he was getting pissed.
Dude, it's funny, because like my dad says the same wild fucking shit. Like, and the military taught so many things that were so bad back in the day, dude.
Oh
So
yeah.
bad. Like my dad, when he shoots pistols, like to this day, he still fucking teacups that shit. And I'm like, why are you doing that?
And the gun's just going like this.
Bang, 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 bang. I'm like, dude, no. Now, granted, my dad might be one of the best iron-sighted rifle shooters I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, he's fucking phenomenal. The dude's a goat when it comes to that. But a holy shit, cannot shoot a pistol worth a damn. It's strictly because of like poor training, and we just didn't know better back then.
Yeah, I mean, I look back on my training in the military, and obviously, like we were qualling on iron sights, and I actually qualified marksman on iron sights back then. Now I fuck, Dude, I see the way you and I shoot with just iron sights, period, and like on anything. I don't think I would be able to do it, but
Bro, I thank God for red dots because I got terrible fucking eye vision. And even with red dots, my shit's fucking all fucked up. I'm just like, go for the dot that's in the middle.
oh man, I guess we should get back on track here. But
Anyways,
guys, yeah, I just want to say
we had to say some shit about guns anyways. And not to mention we were nominated for the 2A podcast of the year. We didn't win. We didn't place top 5, but hey.
I just want to say thank you guys, all of you guys that did vote for us. We know it was a lot. I was getting tagged in like, photos, people sending me pictures of them like voting and stuff. So just want to say, thank you guys so much. It was like kind of the honor of the year for Don and I to even get nominated for a Gundy. We were not expecting it at all. Like not in the least. But really pleased and shout out to our buddies over at Whiskey and Windage. They did end up making the top 5 against some like stacked competition. I mean, stacked. I still think it was a little fucked up that Unsubscribed was able to be nominated for a Gundy when they're a sponsor of the Gundys. But there's a little shenanigans going on there.
When I talked to
Eli didn't even know.
He didn't even know. So in case you guys don't know, I live in San Antonio, so all these dudes live they're like basically like my next door neighbors. I mean, I don't know them like that. They're not like homies or anything, but I just randomly ran into Eli while I was getting a fucking haircut. And he was getting a haircut at the same spot that I was. And I was like, yeah, I was like, we're nominated for the same thing. He was like, wait, we're nominated? He's like, we're doing a live podcast. Or he's like, somebody's going to be real pissed off if we win. I was like, damn. I was like, but they had no clue. He had no clue that. And this was like, probably like 5 days into voting. He had no idea.
In our category, we're all pretty sure that Sean Ryan is going to be the winner. And you know what, man? I mean, just like us, I don't necessarily think we are full-fledged, 2A podcast. We talk a lot about guns and the Second Amendment, but we also talk about a lot of other shit. But Sean Ryan is the GOAT. Straight up GOAT. And we're going to talk about him some more here in a second when we get into today's festivities. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Congrats to Whiskey and Windage. We're not sure if Don's going to be there yet, but I will be at the Gundys, so I will try to maybe live stream some stuff. Maybe
make sure you go harass the fuck out of John if I'm not there.
Oh, but
if I'm there, don't harass me.
Yeah, if you haven't got your tickets yet, you can go get it over at the Gundys website. It's open to the public as well, which is probably a little dangerous, but
I didn't realize that it was open to the public. There's a lot of crazy
first year. Yeah, I know.
Crazy shit. Me and
a
John
lot of you fuckers are crazy out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you see us, definitely come up and say hi. We're going to be hobnobbing around with all of our fellow nominees and stuff, but appreciate it. If you end up somehow getting into SHOT Show, which you're most likely not going to because it's super, super strict this year. They actually wouldn't even let Don and I in as Liberty Goons this year. I had to give my 2A Patriot Ranch credentials. So it's pretty tight this year. But I will be there. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, man.
Don, you got to make it, bro.
I know.
Don's got a baby that's due like anytime, so I get it. Fucking kids.
My girl's like pregnant, bro.
Yeah.
like she's like, any day now. Like I'm kind of tripping out a little bit.
Is Uncle John gonna have to fly from Vegas to San Antonio because she gave birth?
Bro, it'll be. That's the one thing I'm so scared of. Is like if I go and then I'm like, and then it's like, oh, I'm going neighbor. I'm like, fuck. I might have to fucking catch a flight out of there so fucking quick.
I'm already going to be on a whirlwind. So I leave the 14th, headed to Cancun for Luke Bryan's Crash My Playa festival down there. Staying for 5-6 days, and then fly from Cancun through Mexico City to Vegas for Gundy's and a day and a half of SHOT Show, and then flying back straight to Richmond to open up a restaurant.
John's got a crazy life, y'all.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. But man, jumping in. So obviously last night, if you're watching this, I'm gonna try to get this uploaded right away. So last night was New Year's Eve. Don and I didn't do shit. I was actually on the Whiskey and Windage live, and we were talking about how all of us old geezers were just fucking sitting there on an Instagram live instead of doing something for New Year's Eve. Shout out to Keith, 2A Dad from the 2A Boys, and shout out to 2A Boys for being nominated and in the top 5 for their category at the Gundies. Those kids are badass. We've talked about it on here before, but they're little badasses. Yeah, we were all talking about what we should have been doing. But anyway, that was last night. Woke up this morning and phone blowing up. Turn on the news, start scrolling through my feed, and see that there was a truck in the early morning hours this morning that had plowed through a crowd on Bourbon Street. In the first news conference that came out, this lady with a fucking nose ring in. I'm not going to get into. I'm not going to go down that road just yet, but she gets up there and gives a briefing and basically says that this was not a terrorist attack.
She was a DEA hire. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, you said it. Come to find out, the guy's name is Shamsuddin Jabbar. Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise.
And instead of having a American flag hanging from the back of his pickup truck, like most Americans that want to fly flags do, he had an ISIS flag. On top of this, there were also multiple explosive devices, IEDs, found throughout the area, and 3 people caught on video placing these IEDs. So this guy, right now, I believe the total count is up to 10 dead and 30 injured. He hopped out of the truck with a Glock and a rifle, and was immediately shot by police officers that had responded. So that's the first incident. What say you? I mean, there's a lot to say on this, but what say you, Don?
Yeah, man. So obviously this is a crazy situation. Me and John kind of talked about this earlier today before, he was like, hey, go ahead and hop your bullshit together and makeshift a studio real quick.
We got to talk about this.
We got to talk about this because, me and John's been talking about this. We've already kind of said, like, there's so many people that have crossed the border. I mean, let's just say at the low end, 10 million, up at the higher end, 20 million people, and we don't know who the fuck they are that's came in here. So
estimates are 35,000 possible terrorists.
Well, that's like, and I think that they caught something close to like 2,000 terrorists already.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, let's just do the numbers. If you lined up 100 random people on the street, guarantee you at least one of them have committed a crime, right? Like, I think they say something. I think it's like 1 in 100 is like a child,
right?
A child M.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like, we know that here already. So like, now add in the fact that you got 20 million illegal immigrants here and you don't know who the hell they are. We definitely have some bad eggs in this country.
Yep. And so this guy here might not have been one of those people that, he's an American citizen, supposedly from Kansas or whatever. However, that doesn't mean that everybody he was working with
wasn't from somewhere else.
Wasn't from somewhere else, which I will go out on a limb and
say that he definitely was.
He was.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of weird things that have happened, right? Okay, so in case you guys don't know this, an EV went off on Trump Tower. Yes, it was a Tesla, fucking randomly blew up, right? Well, this guy's truck randomly ended up being an EV. Apparently, they got both these vehicles all at the same exact place, right?
Yeah, they got them both off of the Turo app, which is like a peer-to-peer car renting
place, right? So you already had this weird EV something going on. And it's weird that the Tesla was like, I feel like, now I could be wrong, but a hunch tells me it's like, okay, we know Elon Musk, Tesla, we're going to blow this up in front of Trump Tower. It's kind of like a warning shot is how I took it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Now we don't know. There's not enough detail information. We'll probably never know because it's the government and the government doesn't tell us shit. The government also thinks that we're an idiot because, like John told you, there was an ISIS flag. And the first thing that the FBI did was hurry up and wrap it up with a black jacket and covered up the flag. And it's like, oh, you don't think that we didn't realize that wasn't a fucking ISIS flag? Like, we can't put two and two together. Like, the government literally thinks you're fucking morons. Like, they truly do. Yeah. And the story gets crazier than that. But back to the point of, there's a bunch of people already in the United States. I agree. I think it doesn't matter to make a difference. Yes, this guy was working out of Houston or something on those lines, and he's originally from Kansas or some shit like that. But doesn't really make a difference where he's from. The fact is, he's obviously an extremist. Obviously, he's, committing jihad.
And the truck did cross the border at the Eagle Pass border crossing. So yeah, he was doing something down there.
Yes, and I can assure you that IEDs weren't man-made in America coming out of fucking Texas or fucking, Alabama. No, they were definitely handcrafted by somebody that was across the border. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt about it. I mean, absolutely no doubt about it. But my thing is, what I wanted to say is, I think what people don't realize too is, I think one of the other reasons why they picked EVs, and just hear me out on this.
I have an idea about this too, so we might have the same idea.
Okay, yeah, because I'm curious, because so in case you guys don't know, like, EVs are extremely fucking heavy. Like, almost all EVs are, because they're battery operated. The batteries weigh a fucking ton in order to keep those things, keep rolling down the street. So obviously they're quiet too. So that's one of the reasons why I think that this guy picked that. You can't hear it. It's super loud. So if your foot's on the gas, you're going to get more impact, more power, and it's going to be a lot heavier hitting. I think that's one of the reasons why. And I think obviously with the Trump Tower stuff, probably another reason why. But my brain tells me Trump Tower, Tesla, you pre-plan that for a reason, because you're trying to throw a warning shot. And I do think that there's more information that they're never going to tell us, because I think that there was not just those IEDs, and I don't know if you caught on the news where they said that there were several packages that were found.
Yeah, there was stuff in the truck. There was explosives in the truck as well.
And explosives in the truck as well. Yeah. So I mean, I just think that this is I think we're going to see a lot of this shit. It's going to get worse. It's going to get a lot worse. And you can thank your Democratic friends for voting in Joe Biden, who allowed, 20 million illegal people into this country, 10 million on the low end.
And you can thank, the rhinos that have been in office fighting nonsense fucking wars in the Middle East, in these Muslim countries, and pushing people towards being jihadists over the last 25 years.
Yeah.
So earlier when I was talking about Sean Ryan, I said we talk about it later. Well, Don and I are Don and I are huge fans of Sarah Adams. She's actually
Massive.
scary. She's actually scary as fuck, to be honest. Like she is probably the scariest woman I've ever heard talk before, because the things she says are so crazy,
And they all
but she backs it up with like hard evidence. And so it was like 4 or 5 episodes ago on the Sean Ryan show. It was her like third time on, I believe. And Don and I talked about this like a week or two ago. She said emphatically to Sean Ryan that there will be an attack on American soil in 2025. What happens? January 1st, 2025, there's an ISIS attack on American soil, maybe multiples.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think it stops there, here's my thoughts. I think this is the beginning. And I hate being like labeled the fearmonger, but I'm going to fearmonger here a little bit. This is the start of something huge. And these are just little probing things. I think the New Orleans attack was an attack of opportunity. I think that something more large scale might have been foiled a little bit. And as a last ditch effort, they switched up their tactic a little bit. They saw a vulnerability in the barriers that were there on Bourbon Street and said, fuck it. The first idea we had just got fucked up. Let's go do this. Because normally you wouldn't be able to do that on Bourbon Street because they have the wedge barriers and the stanchion barriers that come up. But as the 89-year-old sheriff in New Orleans was telling us today, they knew that they were malfunctioning. So what did they do? They stuck one police cruiser and some construction like wooden barriers across it. And she was like, and they just drove around it. So our plan was foiled. So I think they saw that as an attack of opportunity because something bigger was foiled. And I think that this is the first in many, many, many attacks that we are going to see, unfortunately. And, Sean Ryan said it earlier today. I was listening to the Intel brief that I had sent you, Don. It was him and Sarah Adams and some other like former Intel officials and stuff on a Spaces on X. And it was like, I mean, if you can go back and find it, because I think it's recorded, those guys are fucking brilliant. But Sean Ryan was talking about how our schools are super vulnerable. And I don't know if you remember, Don, this was probably 10 episodes ago. Remember when I was talking about that book I was reading called The Day of Havoc?
Yeah.
And it was about these ISIS fighters, and thousands of them infiltrated schools. And they knew that was the way to attack Americans' hearts, was to go after the kids. And Sean Ryan basically said the same exact thing on that Intel brief today. And I think this is just the beginning, unfortunately. And my message to everyone out there right now, I posted it on Instagram earlier. I tagged you in that one, Don, is always be armed. Always be vigilant. Protect your family at all cost, and be suspicious of everyone.
Yep, absolutely.
That is the only way that you are going to be able to protect yourself, because I can tell you what, right now, the government is not coming to save you. Look at these fucktards right now. They are incompetent. They do not have the ability to protect Americans on American soil right now. They don't.
Well, they've been too busy, like you said, dealing with other shit. Like, oh, let's go start a war. I mean, whether people want to believe it or not, like the Ukraine-Russia war, that's totally America's fault. Like 100%. Like
yes.
we've escalated that war. We've got millions of people killed. We've wasted billions of dollars and tax revenue on it. Now we can say different things about the whole Israeli, Hamas shit too, but I mean, at the end of the day, we are funding so many wars. We got our nose all in places we fucking shouldn't have anything to do with. And because of that, and because people are worried about their bottom dollar on who's going to get them elected and who's going to fucking campaign towards or who's going to fund their campaigns, we just don't give a fuck anymore. We just
No, I mean
caring
we've
about
got
America.
yeah, we've got fucking Sleepy Joe suing the state of Texas so that they can't protect our border. That's how fucking jacked we are right now. Is that
Yeah,
the state of Texas said, "Hey, we're going to help out and we're just going to protect the border ourselves." And the federal government said, "Oh no, you won't." Like, think about that, people. Think about that. Like, open up your brains. All you fucking libtards out there, open up your brains for a second and just think about what I said. The federal government sued a state for trying to protect you from people coming across the border and blowing you up.
yeah, because Greg Abbott, the reason why that whole thing started is, well, we signed into our state constitution that we have the right to be able to protect ourselves as a
Mhm.
state, and we basically said we're going to send out our state guard, and our state guard said, okay, we're not going to allow anybody else to come in, so they went to El Paso, and because of that, it started a whole clusterfuck of shit. Then, as we have these millions and millions of fucking illegal schmucks coming into the fucking country, well, Joe Biden decides that he's going to sue Texas, even though he's got a bunch of fucking dead women, R word women, dead children running around or not running around, but like in this country from illegal immigrants that have crossed the border. And his, bright genius idea was, well, we're just going to sue Texas and just let them keep coming in. I mean, guys, we are on a total like clusterfuck of shit that has happened in the past 4 years. And I don't think anybody truly understands.
Well, they're going to start now. They're going to understand now.
And the thing is that they're going to blame Trump for it and say, "Oh, Trump wasn't prepared." Well, no. The fact is that you've put your guard down for 4 years. You've let all of our enemies into this country, and that's what's going to happen. I mean, me and John have been screaming this for so long, even before our yes, we've always had election coverage, but like before, like we really, really got on election coverage. Me and John were talking about this.
Yeah, we were talking about whenever we did that SHTF scenario episode. That was like 10 episodes ago or whatever. We were. I literally said exactly what happened today was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I talked about that because it was so clear to some of us that actually think clearly and know how bad this shit is. And guys, I'm sorry, man. I will tell you right now, if I could give all of you one recommendation right now, is to go buy one of those, a semi-automatic rifle, and one of those, a semi-automatic pistol, right now, today.
Yeah.
Go do it today.
Yeah, hands
Because
down.
I'm telling you, this is just the beginning. You think ISIS is going to be happy just, and I man, it sounds so bad saying it this way. You guys, you know what I mean here, but like, do you think they're going to be happy with just this Bourbon Street attack or just this Vegas thing? No, that's not their game.
No. Their game is look, I'm going to tell you how crazy it is. In Austin, Texas, 3 days ago, you have ISIS running all up and down Austin, Texas. Now, for all of you people that say, well, I thought Texas would stand up for its own people, blah, 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 blah. Look, Austin, Texas is not part of Texas. Like, nobody in Texas is going to say Austin, Texas is like Texas.
It's lib zone.
It's not, I think it's like something like 80% of the whole entire city is people that aren't from Texas. So,
their moniker is Keep It Weird.
Yeah. It's not even just that. It's a bunch of people from California.
Mm-hmm.
I would say 60% of Austin, Texas is Californian, like California people. The price of rent, the cost of a house in Austin, Texas during COVID got so insane that people were literally buying houses $2 and $3 and $400,000 over fucking asking prices that ran anybody that was from Texas that was going to move to Austin completely the fuck out of there.
Mm-hmm.
And the only people that can afford that shit are people that are selling their 2-bedroom fucking starter homes at $1 million in, LA. Like, that's the only people that can afford those places. And you can see that now because now Austin, Texas is now having a housing market crash. It's one of the first places in the whole entire United States that's having it. And usually Texas is pretty good about being able to stay out of those housing market crashes, for the simple fact is that we're a conservative state. Most people know that when they're coming here, what they're getting themselves into. And so there is some type of stability here, right? But there was no stability during COVID. It was a rush for people to get out of communism from California, to rush to the state of Texas, and they were willing to destroy Texas housing market in order to do that. Now, here's the crazy part. Because of that, now you have all these people leaving Texas. So you have all of these houses where those people can't get their money. They owe thousands, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars on it. So now they're having to take less and less and less. There's all these massive companies that came from California that started building these apartment complexes, building these houses. Now there's a bunch of fucking empty houses. And the interest rates are too fucking high for anybody to be able to afford it. It doesn't matter. Even look, in the state of Texas, like the average income for like the normal person, if you take out the 1% of Texas, I think it's like $45,000 a year. And like, imagine an average house in Austin, Texas is $570,000. The average.
Yep, so those empty houses pose a problem.
So $570,000 with fucking 7-8% interest, nobody is going to buy them.
ISIS is going to move into them.
Well, and this leads me back to my other point. And because it's so liberal there and Austin, nobody says shit. They let these fuckheads run around wild.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the next place that you'll end up seeing a bad attack is probably going to be, I think it will probably be Austin. And I think it will be a sporting event, going back to Sarah Adams, because Sarah Adams said the same thing. Mm-hmm. And then leading back into the situation that you were talking about earlier, I think that it didn't get derailed. I think that what they were planning to do was exactly what they were planning on doing, and that they had it set up for the game later that day, so it was back to back, or the game got derailed and they couldn't put things into place at the game that they thought they were going to be able to. So they said, well, fuck it. Let's just do the next best thing. So it could be one or the other. However, there is going to be several things. And I mean, we will have watched Sean Ryan even talk about this, and Sarah Adams was showing the training videos of these soldiers now. They're good. They're legit. They're legit now. They're not your run of the mill fucking, towel on top the dome piece.
No.
Flip flop.
Well,
motherfuckers.
This is why you and I talk about training so much, because like it's one thing to own a firearm to protect yourself. It's another thing to be able to use it in a real world situation against people that, like, man, I saw those training videos too. They're fucking quick. They're fucking quick, dude. Like,
and as someone who shoots a lot of fucking USPSA matches, like they not only were they quick, they were smooth.
They were deliberate with their moves. It was like watching a tier 1 training video.
Yeah.
From our guys. And that's fucking scary. It's real fucking scary. And like I said, I just don't think this isn't and this is just the beginning.
What did Sarah Adams say? And I might be quoting this wrong, but I think I remember her saying something like there was an estimate of like 10,000 of those soldiers on the United States now.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, one guy in a fucking EV pickup truck just set the United States on fire in one day. Imagine what 10,000 trained motherfuckers could do.
Yep. That's
You
what I'm
know,
saying. Like this is not ISIS's game. They're not a hit and run type of organization. So if you look at it, this is not Osama bin Laden, right? So Osama bin Laden just wanted to wreak havoc. He tried the World Trade Center bombing a few times, but never like followed it up, right? That's not ISIS's MO. They are the caliphate. They are literally operating under a jihad. They want to destroy America. So they're not going to stop at this one attack or two attacks or whatever it is. That's not their MO. So guys, if you think like, oh damn, like, we got attacked and like you think that the rest of this year is just going to be fucking fine, it's not. Like it's and God curse me. Like, I hope I'm wrong, right? Like, I'm not praying for this. I don't want it to happen. Don and I talked about that on our SHTF video where we're like, we don't want any of this stuff to happen. It's really, really bad. I'm just talking about the realities.
And even though dumbasses will still get on there and be like, oh, you're just using scare tactics. No, we're not trying to use scare tactics. I'm not.
You should be scared though.
But it's not even that. It's just like, this is fucking reality. Like, you have, well, once again, low end 10 million, high end 20 million people in the United States. You don't know who the fuck they are. You have people taking over complete apartment complexes in the United States, and the police aren't doing anything. So the next time, listen, the next time somebody says, well, Bourbon Street, you shouldn't be able to carry a gun on there. Well, do you think that criminal gave a fuck if there was a gun that was allowed to be on there or not? No. So them telling you that is them literally saying, hey, we're going to make you a fucking mark for fucking terrorists at the end of the day. The United States government does not give a fuck about you Americans. They do not care.
No.
And I know that Trump's going to be the president. Trump can't fucking control the FBI, the CIA, every single thing. He can't control police stations in the United States. Now, he can try his best to get a grip on things, but it's way more. America's so big. We're like 360 million people. You can't control all of this. One person cannot control all of it. It's just not possible. So you have all of these broken systems. And broken systems, do you think that Donald Trump talks to the fucking sheriff in, New Orleans? Probably not. Probably doesn't even know who the fuck they were until today. Let's be real about it. Like, why would he? And this is my point. Like, there is nobody coming to save you. You either are a capable human being of saving yourself, or you get fucking got. And you're going to get got in a situation when you think that you're going to least fucking expect it. I tell people all the time, that one time that you don't walk into the gas station is with a firearm is probably the time that something's bad's going to fucking happen.
Yeah, if you were a an everyday carrier and you get out of the gas station at the gas pump and you leave your gun in it, what the fuck are you doing? What are you even carrying for?
And, I mean,
you're gonna get got, Don. That's perfect. You're gonna get got. Yeah,
and the thing is most people, like I said, we're not telling you like, oh, okay, look, there's I think it's something like what is it? With death, it's like what is it? 60,000 deaths by guns a year. 60% of those are from self-deletions. There's like a good 5 to 10% of them are from police interactions. That's pretty normal. Some of them are from self accidents. Some of them are from domestics, but the rest of them are all from like gang violence, right?
Yep.
So people think, oh, well, it's not that crazy because like the chances of it happening is going to be slim to none. Yes, True, very, very true. But then also, if that's the case, then why are you sitting here promoting more gun control? Because I'm trying to tell you the one thing that you need to have on you is a gun, because I can assure you those people that walked into a gas station or were just walking down the side of the road and just so happened to get mugged and got shot or whatever the case might be, I bet you they wish they had a fucking way to have some self-defense. It's always when you least expect it. It's never when you expect it. Most of you guys are never going to experience it, but you should always be prepared just in case.
Yep, and if when you look at New Orleans, that was only a medium target. Like that wasn't even a soft target because there's a ton of police. They did have some barricades and stuff. Like that wasn't a soft target. That was a medium target. Think about when they start hitting the soft targets, like our schools, like our malls, like our shopping centers, like our Walmarts. Like think about, for you pro gun control people, think about if a group of 3 ISIS terrorists walk into your local Walmart. Think about the damage they could do if nobody has a gun.
Mm-hmm.
They will put down the whole store.
The whole fucking store.
The whole store. They will go through it. By the way we saw them training and their tactical operations, they'll put you all down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A good guy with a gun is the only thing that's going to save somebody.
That's the only answer. And the thing about it is like because people will come back here and say, well, John, good guys with the guns, they don't always do that. Well, here's a little statistic facts of you. 100,000 gun actions are stopped a year because somebody else has a gun. So that's more than what people are shot every single year. And like I said, 60% of them are from self-deletions. Okay, so that's, you could go ahead and add 100,000 fucking deaths in America if that other person on the opposite side didn't have a gun to, point back at somebody to, have some self-defense.
Yep.
Now, we're not saying that a gun is the thing to have for offense. Like we're not promoting a gun as offense.
We haven't talked about offense at all.
This is a you should be, look, at the end of the day, we're Americans. Nobody should be out shooting anybody. Like, I don't care how pissed off you are at your neighbor or whatever. Fucking Betsy Sue keeps fucking driving on the white line and fucking I got nowhere to park. Like, I don't give a shit about that. Like, and at the end of the day, like, yeah, it might piss you off for 10 minutes, but just get the fuck over it. The reason why you carry a gun is, and which I'm hoping half of you have the common sense, or at least 100% of you have the fucking common sense to realize the reason why I have this is to protect me, myself, and people around me. Now, if you are a coward, then don't carry.
I can't help cowards. I can't do anything for cowards. You're going to get got.
No, what I'm saying is if you're a coward that's carrying a gun and you're not going to use it when you need to, and you're not going to take on the responsibility, just don't carry the fucking gun.
Yeah. If you don't think you can do it, don't do it then.
Because it takes look, I understand, like these events are crazy, right? Like somebody hops out, somebody starts shooting, your adrenaline's fucking rushing, your heart's beating, you're scared, you're sweating. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care if you're the most badass vet in the entire fucking world. Your heart rate is gonna fucking go up.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just is.
Mike Glover talks about training like that all the time in those situations where you're feeling, the adrenaline rush.
It's going to be fucking tense. But at the end of the day, if you are not willing to pull the fucking trigger when you have to, just don't fucking carry.
Yeah, and I think I'm looking less and less crazy these days when, like, Don knows, like I have basically an active shooter response kit that's in my vehicle. I have my plate carrier, I have my battle belt, and multiple weapons, as well as emergency medical equipment. That's my every single day, because I'm not a fucking coward. And if something goes down, I'm not just in it to protect myself. I'm in it to protect everybody.
It's a
Like,
it's a responsibility that when you carry, you're not just protecting you yourself, but you're protecting everybody around you. It is a responsibility. And that's why me and John preach so much, go out and train. Like, don't let that be the first time you have to pull the fucking trigger.
no, don't let it be the first time. Please don't.
Yeah.
Like, it's you got to get out there and do it. But circling back around to these attacks, stay vigilant, people, man. If you see, it sounds so stupid, but if you see something, call it in, man. If you see somebody that's nervous and sweating and it don't look right, call it in.
Yeah, we're not saying calling a guy because he's fucking scratching his balls and scratching his ass.
No.
We're saying if the I would never condone ratting on a human being, because you obviously as a human being should be able to understand and have the note with all if somebody is sketchy.
Yeah, like don't call the police because somebody's open carrying a gun. Like, that's not suspicious activity.
This is America where you're allowed to do that. Now, if a person's sitting there fucking sweating and fucking
pacing
looking around, pacing and got nervous habits, like, call that shit in.
Because you don't know what kind of opportunity you have to save something like today from happening. Because it's a natural reaction. I'm sure that guy that was in that truck was sweating, and nervous as shit. I'm sure he was. If you initial reports, obviously all this information is a little fuzzy right now, but initial reports is this guy had become very withdrawn in the past couple months and wasn't talking to his kids. And, it's okay to reach out to people and be like, yo, man, what the fuck's going on? I'm not saying call the police on them, like Don said. I'm not saying rat people out and shit. What I'm saying is, if you have somebody that's one way and then all of a sudden they're just a completely different person, something's going on in that person's world. And whether or not it's something like this or they just need some help, you got to step in. You got to step in and do the right thing, especially if it's somebody that you care about. These groups like ISIS, they do a really good job brain fucking people.
And that's also what I was going to tell you about too. So not to take you off topic on that, but to add to that, because it was something I missed earlier. So Sarah Adams, which John already said, me and John both love Sarah Adams, but holy shit, she's scary as fuck to listen to. And the reason why I was saying this isn't just ISIS, what people don't realize, the Middle East, their common enemy is Americans, Western civility, right?
They hate us.
So they have said, you know what, fuck it. We're not going to fight each other right now. We're going to focus solely on this. And you have all of these terrorist groups forming together now. And
guess who's doing it? Do you remember who's doing it, Don?
Well,
Hamza bin Laden.
Yep. Yes. The brother of
the son of Osama bin Laden, Hamza bin Laden, that the CIA still refuses to admit is alive.
Yes, which is terrifying because they have so much money backing where they'll just say, hey, take this money, take that money. We don't give a fuck. Hey, we're no longer fighting under ISIS, or we're no longer fighting under the Taliban or
Al-Qaeda, or ISIS-K,
or ISIS.
Hamas, Hezbollah.
We're flying all underneath the Islamic flag, and that's what we're going to focus on. The Islamic jihadist tradition of let's kill all Western civility altogether, and that's why they've all been able to come together. And watching those videos of all of those different groups is fucking crazy. And the worst part about it is, John, we gave them everything. We gave them everything. You fuckers you fuckers watching this that don't like me and John, your president, Mr. Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe himself, is the one who gave them all the fucking weapons. You don't see jihads running with fucking AKs and flip flops anymore. No, they're using
They're wearing combat gear
that we left over there with fucking M4 machine guns. Okay,
and Hummers,
yeah,
and MTACs
and suppressors and fucking night vision for
and
fuck's sake.
MRAPs and like the whole 9 yards.
And Blackhawks for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, they have all of this. They have all of this stuff now, and the scary part, like you were just talking about, Don, is this coordination thing, because now that they're all under this kind of same umbrella, it's falling in. So I saw this, I don't remember when I saw it, but somebody was talking about kind of like the different levels of Islamic terrorism, and it was talking about how like the stages started kind of in the late 90s, and then they created instability on 9/11, right, and pushed the United States into wars with the Middle East, which made the Middle East unstable. They started going after the traditional governmental, the processes in the Middle East. So take those down. Create an environment where the United States is involved in these wars and killing everybody's kids and stuff that are out there fighting. That allows them to grow their caliphate. And then they go into this thing where ISIS is created, and they're expanding the caliphate and their footprint. And what happened in Syria when Donald Trump stepped in and helped usher out ISIS from Syria initially. And then now, and I forget all the phases, so I'm summarizing here, and now they're in the total domination phase, which is we've angered all of the people that were, extreme Islamic people. We've grown masses. We've enhanced our caliphate, and now we're going to go get them. And this is the start of it.
And I'm going to tell you something that's even crazier. So get wrapped up in this, spider web with me for a second. So here's the thing, right? You create this group, and we go to war with these people, but then their propaganda. America's great for propaganda too, don't get me wrong. We'll touch on that here in a second. But their propaganda is so great because what they've done is I remember even when I was going to school, like when I was in college, all of a sudden it was like, no, we should love all these Islamic people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, it was the government who did all this shit. And maybe some of the government, some of the government was on some fuck shit, whatever. It doesn't make a difference. At the end of the day, they all hate you as Americans. But what they've done is now they've infiltrated our school systems. And because they've infiltrated our school systems, just like the socialists, the communists have, they all have the same goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is to kill Western civilization altogether. The communist goal is to kill Western civilization. The Islamic Muslim shit is to kill Western civilization. It doesn't make a difference, but they're using propaganda so good. Now that you have kids running around screaming free Palestine and carrying around ISIS flags, and now you've radicalized not only just your core base of people that look like you, but other people too, by thinking that everybody else is your enemy. So it doesn't make a difference who the government is for some of these people. It's not just like some of these people that were in these school systems. It wasn't just like, oh, we hate Republicans. No, they also might have hated Democrats too. Like they just didn't care. They hated the whole system. But what they had to do was infiltrate. And what they did was they infiltrated first with Democrats. And why did they do that? Because Democrats are already radicalized because they're of their social ideologies, right? So it's very easy once you have an ideology to get wrapped up into another ideology. That's the crazy part about ideologies. If you're a fanatic, it's very easy to introduce a new fanatic sector to the already fanatic shit that you already got going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, CNN during like Blackwater, they basically called like this PMC group, oh, like these people are killing, these innocent Muslims, blah 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 blah. Well, we all know that was bullshit. That's not what happened. But what they do, they use that as propaganda. CNN use it as propaganda because they have these fanatic ideologies, and that just added to the situation. That's why you see people now in Austin, Texas, running around with fucking ISIS flags and people blowing smoke and all this crazy fucking shit.
Yep.
They've already infiltrated the system,
Yep.
which is more impactful than what you can ever imagine, people.
Because now they look like you.
Because now they look like you. Now, not only were they very smart. Obviously, they 9/11 happened, towers, America, we all united. We all decided to go there and kick some ass. Then the United States government does what it always does and fucks everything up, when we should have just fucking hammered the absolute living fuck out of them and wiped them off the face of the fucking earth. Instead of doing that, we got to do what is it? What's the term that they use? Spirit and what's the word that they always
hope and
they have the term they always use when we were growing up. But
hearts and minds.
Hearts and minds. There you go. Hearts and minds. So yeah, hearts and minds. Hearts and minds. Okay, well, hearts and minds gets a bunch of Americans fucking killed.
Yep.
That's what Hearts and Minds does. Because we went and we sent a bunch of kids out there that got fucking killed because of Hearts and Minds. Because, all of a sudden you got some fucking jihad aiming a gun at you, and then he goes behind the building and then he walks out, and now you can't fucking shoot him because of like rules of engagement and shit. Now, it wasn't always that way during the war, but definitely towards the end, it started becoming that way, or even midway through.
Mm-hmm.
So then you couldn't do anything about it. Well, then next thing you know, fucking Hasham fucking shoots you in the back of the head fucking 2 days later. It's like, it's just like crazy shit. But what they did was, going back to this is, well, now you have the United States government coming in. Now jihad can say, or the Muslims can say, oh, well, look, see, they're killing your brothers, which then creates more of them, and it creates more fanatics with crazier ideologies. So not only do they have that over there now, not just that, they think that they won the war.
Well, they did.
Well, they won the war because we just fucking...
We left.
Okay. So because of that, now they have more balls than fucking ever. They think that they kicked America's ass. They fought through the battle for 20 fucking years. We've infiltrated all the fucking youth. And now we can fucking walk proudly with all of our terroristic shit going on in the country, because now we have a bunch of brainwashed fucking teenagers and young adults.
Yep. And we still send the Taliban $40 million a week.
Yeah, which is insane.
Which, you think that money's not going to help fund ISIS?
Of course it is.
Al Qaeda?
100% it is. And this has been the biggest problem. This is why me personally, I think that Democrats are a bigger threat to the world than anybody on the fucking planet. Anybody on the planet, because they're the people that have allowed this to happen. Now,
well, and they still spit crazy rhetoric, even here in this country. AOC basically said that the problem with America is people like Daniel Penny, because of what he did on the subway, which was protecting people. Like, that's the problem, is people like Rashida Tlaib, AOC, Jamal Brown, what was the other squad member that Ilhan Omar? Like, these fucking people are the problem.
Well, and what they want to do is they want to basically take away all the masculinity from the youth. They want to make you feel really bad for being who you are as a human being and being an American. They don't want you to have a sense of patriotism because they want to kill that, because they are people with fanatic ideologies. That's just, it is what it is. I don't care where you're from. Like, if you're from Germany, you should be the most pro fucking German person on the fucking planet of the earth. If you're from Australia, you should be so fucking Australian it fucking hurts. That's just the way it should fucking be. Anybody that has a sense of fucking pride, these are your people. This is your country. This is the country that gave you fucking birth. This is the country that gave you your fucking freedom. Like, shut the fuck up. At the end of the day, shut the fuck up. Quit allowing these fucking idiotic people with these idiotic ideologies to rule your youth and to rule America, because it's a small group of really loud fucking cocky ass arrogant fucking pricks that hate you that are running everything. On top of that, and I'm not taking, there's several Republicans which aren't really Republicans, they're rhinos that have been a part of this shit. Okay, and they have came together. That's where the whole fucking thing is like left wing, right wing. It's all the same fucking bird shit came from, because forever
there is bird shit on both sides.
Exactly, there's bird shit on both sides. The problem with this being is like, we can look at Matt Gaetz, for example. Matt Gaetz, whenever he was gonna be for
Attorney General,
when he was running for, well, not running, but he was nominated for Attorney General, they all went against him. Why? Why did they go against him? Because they're fucking rhinos. Because they are rhinos. The people in Congress are shit. The people in the Senate are fucking dog shit. Why? Because they're war hungry, they're manipulative, and they would rather see Americans fucking die so their wallets can get fucking thick. I'm not talking about the United States government. I'm telling you that you should have patriotism as an American, no matter who's in fucking government. And I think that's the big thing, because when Joe Biden was president, me and fucking John were still sitting here with the fucking American flags on our fucking t-shirts and being proud to be fucking Americans.
Yep.
If you allow them to take that and say that they're America and you're not anymore, their ideologies is America, and you don't get to fucking be a part of the justice system, and you don't get to have your constitutional rights anymore, they will gladly take that and strip that right away from you. I don't give a fuck what side of the wing that they're on.
Right. And I mean, that's why we started the whole no compromise mentality, because these dipshit rhinos and the left have gone to this point where we're in a real bad place because of it.
Yes.
And we can't compromise anymore.
Exactly. And we talked about this too with the whole UFOs and fucking drones and yada, yada, yada. Well, guys, guess what? There's 10,000, fucking military fucking soldiers that are over here right now from the fucking Middle East. And I wouldn't be surprised.
They have drones.
I wouldn't be surprised if they had drones. I wouldn't be surprised or the United States government is tracking something because something fucking went missing.
Right. And if you think about that, think about the timing. When these drones were just happening 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. And what I mean by something missing, I mean, it very well could be some type of something big, possibly starts with an N.
Mm-hmm. And ends with a mom.
Yeah. So, and I'm hoping that's not what it is, but all signs point to something catastrophic. And
I agree.
We as Americans, if we don't get our heads out of our asses and we don't fucking demand the government to step the fuck up, to be fucking transparent and to step the fuck back and say, hey, no, you don't run this bitch, we do, then we are going to just be walking into a bliss of fucking explosions and bullshit happening in the United States for the next forever.
If January 1st, 2025 was not a wake-up call for America, like September 11th, 2001 was, you all are fucking dumb. Because everybody was shouting from the rooftops, God bless America and pro America on September 12th, 2001. And if you're not that way on January 2nd, 2025, tomorrow, we're in for a world of hurt.
And unfortunately, I feel like we probably are.
Unfortunately, I don't think we're at a position in this country that we can act like September 12th, 2001. Yeah. Man, since it's 2025, Don, I'm throwing you on the spot here. We're going to do a new way to end our show. Don and John, because this is the way I end my Two-Way Patriot Ranch videos. We're going to give 30 seconds final thoughts on whatever topic it was that we discussed for the day. 30 seconds, uninterrupted. Don will shut up when John's talking, and John will shut up when Don's talking. 30 seconds to state your piece, and then we'll close out the show. How about that?
Perfect.
All right. You can go first this time since you were already kind of on a roll.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we are in a really terrifying situation in the United States, whether people want to believe it or not. Arm yourselves, protect yourselves, be vigilant. Like John has said, keep your head on a swivel. If you aren't around patriotic people, get around them and get around them quick. And go out and train every single chance that you possibly have. We hope that nothing bad will happen. But at the end of the day, your Democratic president, Joe Biden, has allowed 20 million savages into this country, and we have no idea who these people are and what they're capable of. And Sarah Adams has already said that. And if you don't know who Sarah Adams is, go watch the Sean Ryan show.
Couldn't agree more, man. I'll go a step further in my final thoughts here. This is coming for your neighborhood. This is coming for your town. This is coming for your family's town and your friend's town. There's nothing at this point you can do to stop it. It's already gone too far. We saw 2 attacks today that are most likely linked. It's coming for you next. These people that we have talked about for episode after episode after episode, they want the total destruction of everything that you love and everything that you believe in. These are not people that think sanely. This is not a diplomatic mission. They are coming for you. You need to arm yourself. You need to train. You need to be vigilant. If you are a man, you need to protect your fucking family. Don't be a fucking coward and be suspicious. My final thoughts.
And hearts and minds are not going to save you.
Hearts and minds ain't saving you, people. Don and I are promising that we're going to put out an episode a week. This is episode number 30. So that means by the end of this year, we will have at least 82 episodes, possibly more. We've still got some big episodes that we just kind of got derailed from coming up. That we really need to get onto, especially now considering what transpired today. I think both of the authors that we need to bring on, this is shit that they talked about, and I think it couldn't be any more relevant than now. I'm actually, I'll give you guys, John will do his book of, we'll just call it the month because I don't want to do a book a week. But I'll go with the book of the month. You guys know I've talked about the Survivalist series by Angry American. I've talked about The New World by oh god, why am I blank? G. Michael Hopf. And the books that I'm reading right now is called the Alex Fletcher series. Very similar to the other ones. There's 5 or 6 books. Great read. you need to get into some of this stuff. I'm highly encouraging you all to read these books. They're, about the fall of American society and what it looks like when the shit hits the fan. Lots of great content in there for you all. So that's my book of the month for January. My books, I'll call it, because it's a series, Alex Fletcher series. But go back and read Angry American. Funny enough, Don Welch, I was on live with Whiskey and Windage last night, and I was talking about Angry American. Well, one of Keith's 2A Dad's friends in Florida knows him.
Wow.
And lives in Eustis, which is one of the small towns that was in the book that they were operating out of.
That's crazy.
So yeah, small world. Anyway, big things for Don and I in 2025. Don is going to be a dad in 2025. I am going to open up 23 restaurants in 2025. Going to be a fun one. But
we're going to win 2A podcast of the year.
Yes, we are going to win 2A podcast of the year this next go around. But as we mentioned before, if you see me at the Gundy's, come up, say hi. I'll be probably wearing something crazy. I haven't figured out my outfit yet, but you'll know it's me when you see me. Come up and see me if you're at SHOT Show. Come up and see me. To all of our friends, Whiskey Windage, Angry Sarge, 2A boys, all of you guys. Aegis, I think, is going. If you guys see us, can't wait to see you at SHOT Show. So, yeah, that's episode number 30. I'm John. That's Don. We're the Liberty Goons, and we are
out.